call this meeting to order with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, please.
Davis.
Here.
Parker.
Here.
Stoops.
Here.
Weaver.
Yep.
Wilson. Dukasar.
Here.
Dukes W.
Here.
All right. Look at that. We have the first non-agenda items from sidelines. We have Mr. Christopher Reschke.
Let's get Jamie out here.
Reschke.
Hang in one.
Jamie? Yeah. Come back out here. This is about you.
I know, right?
Here.
Thank you. What's it, looking fun?
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
He's going to talk about the property we have discussed purchasing for tax, back taxes over off beside the river. So go ahead, you have the floor.
Me and my wife, we do have a vested interest in the property behind our lot at 81750 Main. I've given you guys our most recent tax bill. We do feel we are paying taxes on it. We don't understand how it went into tax foreclosure with the county. The legal description shows it being 3.51 acres split in 2006. It's been that way for the last 5 years. We went to the county building today and it's showing a different legal description. We're not sure if we're actually due reimbursement now on taxes, which I'm not worried about that. I actually just want the property.
Well, as I told you, I've been on the council, this is my 5th year as mayor, and I was council for 6 years before that. We never have discussed any splits or combinations of that parcel as long as I've been on council. And you said there was one in 2003 and one in 2006?
Yeah, and this tax bill, like I said, our most recent one, our winter 2013, shows that it was split on 8/24/2006.
That was
Yeah.
never.
It's written down in black and white.
I've been on here 18 years or more. I don't remember that ever coming here either.
No, it wasn't. I was on the council land
No,
and
so
We've never discussed that property being split, combined, adjusted, anything.
Right.
And we're supposed to, actually, the planning commission's supposed to review all splits, make a recommendation to us with the assessor, and come up with us approving splits. So I don't know, do you have anything?
Jamie wasn't an assessor at that time.
No, I know he wasn't.
Okay, all right. So
And we've been actually trying to get a hold of Jamie for the
this
last.
is Jamie right here.
For the last year. My wife left a message last week with Donna to have him call her, and we're still waiting on that phone call.
A couple things, if I may, in terms of addressing the issue. I discovered the issue when I first came looking at the legal descriptions, and I've mapped it out a couple times. I mapped it out again this past week because we've had some difficulty in terms of the piece that Mr. Wagner retained in the rear. I spoke to you back when I was out and measured the property a couple years ago about where the property line was in the boundary with the pole barn. I do recognize the error in the way the legal description is written, but I went back and I looked at the calculation of the taxes. It's based on the smaller parcel that you own. So the land area, because I calculate based on land area.
Okay.
The description is a little screwed up, but the land area that you're paying taxes on is only that parcel which you own.
Okay, so you're saying.
And the
acre and a
parcel
third.
itself. Pardon me?
For an acre and a third, the winter tax is going to be about $650.
I don't know about that. You know, I'd have to look at this and study it. But we're only looking at the front.
That's the new legal description.
The 148 by 396 feet. I think that's about right. Yeah. That's all that you're. And I'll show it to you. I want you to be able to see it and feel comfortable about that. The difficulty that you have, we talk about splits. You talk about splits in terms of being recognized as an official body of the city council, in recognizing that in the planning commission, recognizing it for the purpose of taxation. People buy and sell property ownership in different configurations all the time that don't match up with property tax ownership. In this particular case, it appears that the county will create legal descriptions when there is the sale of property. That's what appears to have happened here. The county created a separate tax identification number for the parcel that was left east of your house,
Okay.
and adjoining and abutting the river. There were also several other changes to the property boundaries based on my discussion with your neighbor to the north, Mr. Latouf.
Yeah.
Okay, and in the little bit of conversation that I had with that family, with your wife and yourself, there were some trade-offs in terms of the boundaries of what was
Right,
originally.
prior to our purchase.
So those changes are, I'm still yet to know whether or not there are easements that Wagner left that left access to get back to that piece. There's not really a clear chain of title. And as you can see in talking to city council, they're telling you that he didn't come through the typical route of asking the permission of the city to recognize it for the purpose of taxes.
Okay.
In the end, what we have is a tax split. It's created because of what's been sold off. You bought the front of the property and he left that piece in the back. So now what's happened is it's been assessed, and that assessment, those taxes, we can't get a hold of them. I've searched in the internet,
Right.
I've talked to Mr. Latouf.
Right.
I've had other people say these people know who he is, but nobody wants to tell us where to go.
Yeah, see, I don't know where to go.
And I have looked
I've spoken
online.
to them once, and like I said, they felt that it was ours anyways, and they really have no vested interest in it. They don't want it.
Here's,
And
where do
we
go
do.
from here? We don't want the property if he wants
Here's
it.
my
So
concern.
where do we go? Can you resolve this?
I want to
with-
make sure he doesn't lose it.
Okay. If it's in the interest of the city that that the Reschkes, I hope I said that
Yeah.
right, that they retain the interest in the property, you have first right of refusal as a body to take that property before it goes to tax sale. If it goes to tax sale, people have a right to bid on it.
Right,
And the starting bid will usually be the taxes that are owing on the property.
right.
This
Should we buy it and have him pay us for what the taxes are, so he doesn't have to get into a bidding war with somebody?
What you could very well do that because you felt that it was in the best interest of the city to maintain the property in the configuration that it has always been seen officially by the city council and the planning commission, and that you want it to be restored to its existing configuration.
Can this be done without us buying it?
I think what you would want to do to protect the city and to protect Mr. Reschke is to probably have the city attorney start the process of having an official title policy done on the property to make sure there are no liens and encumbrances on either property, the existing property that the Reschkes own, other than mortgages, of course, and then also on the piece that's gone up for tax sale. Second, I would have them create an escrow into which the funds for the taxes would be paid by the Reschkes, and you're secure that those monies are set aside. And then the attorney can execute the deed on behalf of the city to go ahead and grant the property to the Reschkes if that's the will.
And we've got a week to do this?
Well, you have, the easy thing to do is to buy the property for the taxes that are owing, and then you own the property and you can dispose of it as you wish.
Well, and that's what we had discussed anyway, is buying it, and then, I mean, I would rather he get his property back, but we can't cost the city money if we're gonna end up with no property, but we wanted to have it if he didn't want it, so, I mean,
Okay.
you know, so if we buy it and sell it and don't make money, as long as you give us everything it cost us to take it, then I would
Sure.
be happy to transfer it to him if you guys would.
If it's landlocked, would anybody else be able to bid on it anyway?
Again, the title policy is why I
Well,
would advise you to go ahead.
and in that question, Jamie, alone, shouldn't that fall back onto the title company that originally sold the house for him?
On settling on what the layout, what the property layout is?
Well, title company is only identifying the history of what's been put into the public record. The title company is just it's an insurance
I
company.
understand that, but they're insuring what properties that are there, they should have the titles and the knowledge of the split, or whatever they're talking about. Either way, they should have the information on that
Well, it looks
over
like-
anybody.
Was it a screw up when the foreclosure happened? Is that where the screw up
I'm
was?
thinking, I think that's part of it. Here's one of the other things, and I would strongly recommend this in the case of any split and combination. And this might, I don't know how this will go over, but I've had this problem in the last 5 years with the large number of foreclosures that we have. I've seen not a large number, I've seen a number of properties that the loan is on the house and the land is owned separately. It's described as a single parcel, and when the house goes into foreclosure, the mortgage company or the bank that sells the property issue a covenant deed. So it would be the same thing as if Mr. Reschke were to purchase the property, but let's say they foreclosed on the house. We'd be back to the same spot we were before, where the covenant deed that the bank would sell the house and to some new buyer would not have any interest in the property behind it. And Mr. Reschke would retain that ownership. So we'd be in the same kind of situation that Wagner had. If in fact that's what
That seems like what happened.
So what I would, and I've suggested this in my other places, I suggested for the city that the combination of the property be recognized not only for tax purposes, but that it's recognized and encumbered as an addition to the mortgage. So that if the mortgage fails, it goes,
There is no mortgage.
okay, good.
It's free.
Then you're fine there because
Jamie, the question, why can't he just go and pay the taxes on it?
well, he has to wait until it goes
It's
to.
not
It's not in his name.
Oh, it's not in his name.
It's in the other.
You
gentleman
could
that-
very well have any of the adjacent property owners
Okay.
that would have an interest in bidding on that also.
Right.
If you think that as a body, it's in the best interest to keep the configuration of that lot in a rectangular form.
Well, and as far as I'm concerned, it's up to you if you want to just go and bid on it just like anybody else, and us just to leave it alone. I'm more than happy for us to leave it alone. But if you want us to get it for what's owed on it and you pay that amount,
Okay.
then, I mean, either way, I want, we want to take care of you.
Do we know
whatever it
what's
takes.
owed on it? Out of curiosity.
$2,200?
Okay.
It probably costs her more to have less vehicle.
You- you think?
2164.85.
Yeah, because of the
Yeah,
lawyer
fees on
fees,
top of it.
fees, yeah.
Well, you're
But he's taking a chance on anybody bidding against him.
Yeah, that too, yeah.
That's the only thing.
Not that I know if anybody would.
I don't,
I-
in
I-
my
I-
office, I have no interest in anybody except.
My neighbors claim they don't want it.
Yeah, so I don't think.
You know, that part of it,
Yeah.
they just want everything kind of the way it has been.
I don't know.
So,
I mean-
I mean, if it's easy enough to just leave it alone and we'll take care of it, you know,
Well,
we'll do
we're
it
more than
ourselves.
happy to leave it alone.
I would
As far as
appreciate
I'm
that.
concerned, we could just back up and not have to worry about it.
That would be my
And
preference.
hopefully I
Take care
can
of
work
it.
with our assessor and figure out how to get it.
Okay.
Is that okay with you? If
I-
we-
Probably as soon as it goes up for sale.
I imagine it's just go to the county building and.
What I would like is certainly whatever direction you go, I would hope that you'll honor the request of the city council and go through the process of combining it.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
yeah.
And
No problem.
that'll do a couple of things for you. Let's play this out a little bit very quickly. First, when you buy the property in the year following the transfer of real estate, it uncaps. If it were looked at as a standalone parcel, right now it would come in at a building site rate. It would be expensive.
Mhm.
If you add it to your property as an addition to your property, it becomes excess land.
Okay.
And the rate per acre is at a lower rate. Therefore, by combining it, you'll have a lower tax rate than you would if you were to keep them as two separate parcels.
Fair enough.
And it would be in your best interest from a tax purpose. As far as the utility of the property, I can't speak to that.
Well, and you can, if, you discussed this with him separately from this meeting anytime, and we're, we had a motion and a vote to buy the property. I think we need to rescind that.
Did we? No, we
I
haven't.
didn't think we did.
We didn't have a motion at all.
Oh,
We
we're-
talked about it.
So we said go ahead and buy it, right?
No, I never
All
voted
right.
anything to buy it.
Okay.
No, you just wanted him to look into
Yeah,
it and
yeah.
come back.
Well, I guess that was smart.
Price
You
here.
two want to get together now for a few minutes or not? If you do,
Yeah, you can go sit down in the
Go into the
back
other room.
and handle
Oh,
this,
yeah,
unless you have
sure.
something else for us.
Yeah, there's no motion.
Okay, good. So, we're gonna hands off the property.
I
So
appreciate it.
you guys, good luck.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you. I appreciate it.
Okay.
Have a great day.
You too.
All right. Moving on, comments from city administration. Don. Chief. Bart.
Did you want to bring that up?
About the test sites that we're doing?
Test site, well, I can touch on it, yeah. Again, I put a call in, I had a road, I don't know how many I've talked to before, but, seal coating company coming in. So they were gonna do, some test areas. Anyways, they didn't show up today, and they gave me a day's notice. And I called around, anyways, for about approximately $3,000 to do these areas. So around, he said he'd be around 11:30 and unloading materials and that never happened. I called him around 12, I never got a return call. He either ran long on his first job of the day, turned into an all day, or.
You still haven't heard from him?
No.
Okay.
So I'll try my darndest to get a hold of him tomorrow.
Well, that's fine, but we're gonna, there were 3 test sites that you were looking at?
Yeah, Maple, where the dump of dirt is, and Lois Street, probably from Eleanor to Bell River Road. 100 feet over on, from Lois, south on Bell River, to seal that up. And there was some gatering in there, so that would give us an idea of how this product works with the gated areas. Then Maple East, the dead end.
And I don't know if you've driven past, I haven't looked up that road, but
Yeah, I'll
it's
find
gonna be a
out.
good test site, to see how it will hold up. This chip seal that, Bart has many times I've mentioned it, and he's told me, you know, we tried it back in the 90s and
93.
it busted apart in 2 years.
We had a bad winter, that,
Yeah.
I will say that too, it was a terrible.
Well, we just got
winter in
past one
93.
really bad one, so.
Last time we had water lines froze up, in fact, it was 93.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
so, we're gonna test it out, you know, the price is right, I can tell you that. And if it works, we might start doing a couple of, the other streets next year, or the year after watching this and seeing how it holds up. So, anything else?
That's it.
Anything going on with the water department, anything going on with
It's all,
lagoons?
it's all good.
Did you like that picture? I took a picture of a, little, you saw what I was in the parade, a little quad.
Yeah,
I
you
found
saw
one.
the willies.
I found one that's totally made out of steel, the whole thing, so it's not got all the plastic parts on it. It's in a picture too.
Yeah,
I thought it would be something really nice for our DPW eventually. But,
that'd be good for the golf course.
good for the golf course. All right.
I don't think golf.
All right, moving on. Adoption and amendment of the agenda.
Got one change, and that's on F, pardon me, on number F there, the ad for the meetings on May 21st and 22nd. Because we had some,
Oh,
just
There's
a
no other meeting, or no other changes
special meeting, no other changes. I make a motion to adopt the agenda as presented,
as amended.
or as amended.
Can I get a support?
support.
Parker,
Yes.
Stutes,
Yes.
Weaver,
Yes.
Wilson, Lukasar,
Yes.
Lucas W.
Yes.
Davis.
Yes.
Approval of regular meeting minutes of May 20th, the budget meeting minutes of May 21st and 22nd. If there's no changes, can I get a motion to accept those?
I'll make that motion.
Support.
Stutes,
Yes.
Weaver,
Yes.
Wilson,
Yes.
Lukasar,
Yes.
Lucas W.
Yes.
Davis,
Yes.
Parker.
Yes. All right, is it the 109? All right. Okay, presentation and approval of the May receipts report for $109,545.64. May's disbursements report of $111,202.01 and electronic wire transfers of $10,000. $478.75. Anybody have any questions on those? Any comments? Can I get a motion to accept those?
Motion to accept the reports as given.
Support.
Weaver,
Yes.
Wilson,
Yes.
Lukasar,
Yes.
Lucas W.
Yes.
Davis,
Yes.
Parker,
Yes.
Stutes.
Yes.
All right. Communication, there was none. Unfinished business, resolution for proposed millage. This is something we have to do to get it on the ballot and get voted on the 2% millage for the 15-year period that we had said that we would like to put on the ballot in the fall. Anybody have any questions on it?
I just wanted to just make briefly I had and I did make a memo to you there that I had a resident requesting why didn't we go out for actually a bond, as we did on the water and sewer, when we did that back in 91, I believe it was. And I told him the expense of that would be very almost prohibited, and I realized it was kind of off the cuff, but I did do analysis of that. I won't go into it, but you can see where it'd be very, very expensive, so. And the other is I inquired about through the lawyer, what we had to do. So we had the resolution made up, and you want to go over that, Dan, or just?
Everybody's read the resolution? Anybody have any questions on it? And it's basically one of the steps we have to go through to get it on the ballot.
The amount based on the current taxable value for the coming fiscal year, amount collected would be $45,269. That will change from year to year as depending on taxable value.
And I think you know, you had talked about the bond issue of borrowing money to do our roads. I don't like paying interest. You know, I think interest is wasted money, and if you look at the amount of interest on these bonds, it's really, you know, not only would it double my tax, like double my property taxes every year, but the interest alone, I just don't think it's wise for us to,
I don't
especially since the fact that we have just become debt-free the first of this month.
Right.
And it's 25 years, the road probably won't even last.
Well,
Be
you
paid
almost,
off.
you have to do them over again, and the interest alone would add up another 40% to the cost, based on my figures there. And if, and of course, there's no, and besides, there's a minimum we can borrow.
I was just gonna say, you're
We can
over.
only borrow 10% of our state valuation, or state equal valuation. And so we can only borrow about 2.4 million anyway, but as you look at some of those figures there, and, you know, you'd be.
Crazy.
Yeah.
We'd be crazy to borrow
I
money.
just think it's out of question.
So, all right, anybody have any questions on the resolution? Can I get a motion to approve the resolution?
I'll make a motion to approve the resolution.
Support it.
Wilson,
Yes.
Lukasar,
Yes.
Lucas W.
Yes.
Davis,
Yes.
Parker,
Yes.
Stutes,
Yes.
Weaver.
Yes. All right. New business, fire department, R&R fire truck invoice. We have a $531.25 invoice from R&R Fire Truck Repair. Apparently, this is when they came to pick up, they came to pick up the engine that we sold.
The fire department that purchased our engine out of Arkansas sent a trucking company up here to pick the truck up. When that trucking company arrived Saturday morning, the truck would not go into gear for them. So this company, R&R, is a 24-hour service company. They came out, it was an electrical issue, fixed the electrical issue so the truck could get loaded onto the flatbed and sent down to Arkansas. So it was
So
either
your
fix
profit.
it at that point, or we would have had to wait till Monday and then we shipped the truck down to Arkansas. So
Yeah. Well, I'm glad.
unfortunately,
Glad it was
we
taken
had
care of.
one last maintenance issue on it, but
Yeah, it's
And
out
they're
of there.
satisfied.
All right, can I get a motion to approve that invoice?
I'll make a motion to pay R&R fire truck for $531.25.
Support.
Lukasar,
Yes.
Lucas W.
yes.
Davis,
Yes.
Parker,
Yes.
Stoops,
Yes.
Weaver,
Yes.
Wilson.
Next is the police department, their core technology annual renewal notice. This is their software for, putting all the information in on cases and all the other stuff. The state goes directly to the state, and then we do this every year. So can I get a motion to approve this $2,470 to core technologies?
I'll make a motion we allow the police department to pay this invoice for our annual renewal of core technology.
Support it.
Lucas W.
Yes.
Davis,
Yes.
Parker,
Yes.
Stoops,
Yes.
Weaver, Wilson, Sue Kinsara.
Yes.
All right, other new business from the mayor? Don't really have anything. Larry, you got anything?
Yeah, just one thing, it's on a memo to you, and it's a Maple Street. Originally it was scheduled to start June 30th. It was going to be delayed a couple of weeks to about July 14th because there was a mandated requirement that both Donna, Jennifer, and I think Bart had to attend
That class?
a
Didn't
class
learn this.
for the computer, so until they got that in place, we couldn't proceed, so it got delayed. So anyways, construction on it is tentatively scheduled in July.
Have you given the bid?
The bids are I think I gone out now according to.
This week,
Joel's,
this deal.
And they'll be.
Opening them on,
Oh, opening on 20th.
Yeah,
Yes.
June the 24th, and
Well, the people on Maple Street's gonna be happy.
Maple Street, that's Maple Street West, by the way.
The
Yeah.
road is really in bad shape. So is church though, I wish we could have hit
Yeah.
church. at the same
Well,
time.
Mechanical Street, part of it's gravel now, so, I mean, there's a lot.
Yeah,
of-
that whole area is
Yeah, there's a
gravel.
lot of problems, you know.
So, all right.
Okay, that's all I have.
Robbie? Jason? No? Scott?
I have
Fantastic. You said you had three or
got
four
something
things.
for you.
What do you got?
I don't know how many veterans, any veterans in here, besides me.
I wish.
You were in the Navy, weren't you?
No, I wish
Oh. Okay. We used to have a flag flying outside of town here on that tower. And it hasn't been a flag out there for quite a while.
Since,
And the guy that owns that, Bill King's place.
Kane used to did Kane put it up there?
I think so,
Yeah, I think so.
But the new guy, I don't know who the new guy is. I think he owns the t-shirt place.
no.
No, he hasn't bought it yet.
No.
Somebody else.
Well, I
Chris-
talked to Tick Moody today.
Yeah.
And he said the guy's pretty nice to talk to, and I said, do you think he'd let us put up a flag, or, buy 3 or 4 flags? And he says he thinks so, he said, and he would even put them up for us because they have all the hookups already there. But the question is, I'd like to buy some flags. And I think the city could kick in like $100 for 4 flags. Because what they are big flags. that
You won't
cover
buy
the
4
casket.
flags for $100.
Yeah. We'll get
And
it
6
to-
by 10, the
if
6
we get
by
it to
10
the
we
funeral
have.
parlor, we might.
Yeah. I just know we paid, what, $110 or $120 for that 6 by 10 over in our
Yeah,
park
yeah,
on
yeah.
Main Street.
Especially when you're flying it up that high, you gotta get a really good quality flag or it'll rip apart like.
They
no
normally
time
rip
at all.
apart in a year anyway. almost.
Yeah, down here.
Yeah, they don't last.
That's why I said
And
get
our
3 or
firemen
4
go
of
up there and put it up.
them.
But see, he was affiliated with a flag company, flagpole company and that, so I don't know.
Who, Kane was?
Yeah.
Well, I'm sure if we all got together, like the Legion would probably put some money towards something like that, or, I don't know. I mean, I have no problem with it.
Well, I'll tell you what.
I like the flag, but we gotta
I go
make
back
sure.
and forth when I'm driving. And I always look up there.
We should make sure that he'll allow us
What
to
are
do
you
it
talking
before we
about?
go ahead and say we'll
The
spend
radio
money on
tower
something.
right outside of the city
He
limits.
may not want a flag up there.
Kane's
I
place,
mean,
that
even if
big
he
tower.
does,
Dover?
No, Broad Main
is he
Street.
gonna be able to put it up there?
Well, it's,
Okay, listen.
it'd be
Only
open.
empty
Company
field
or
there.
whoever's tower that is, that's who you can contact to see if you can even still do it.
Well,
It
I
may
know.
be an issue to where they don't want it up there.
Chris still owns
See,
it,
he
but it's under
sold.
land contract.
I was gonna say, I
It's
thought
under
that
land
piece was
contract.
so
So
long.
I don't know if he,
Outside the city limits?
I don't know if he has access. Chris Kane still has some interest in the property because he has a land contract with the gentleman who's purchasing
But I
it.
think his dad sold that off. I
Yeah,
know
he
he
may
was
have
in the
sold that.
process of it.
Or it may have been under lease. I mean, we might not even be able to do it. We should make sure that we can get a flag up there, but if we can, I mean, anything, I think anything to support.
They used to bring a
Our troops
chopper
in
in and
the
change it.
Well, I
We'll
talked
do
to,
that.
I talked to Tick Moody. Tick used to work on there all the time.
Tick doesn't
And
know
he says,
that. I told Tick to keep his mouth
Maybe
shut.
the city
But
could
I
buy
tell
a
you what-
ladder truck for the fire
Yeah.
department.
Here's the thing, you know,
You wouldn't,
Tick
you wouldn't
doesn't
have
own
said
the
that.
property.
You wouldn't have said that 20 years ago.
Oh, Tick's funny. I like Tick. But just as long as he doesn't send his brother after me, I'm scared of his brother. Yeah.
Yeah,
But
you know.
here's the thing: we should talk directly to the property owner instead of Tick. And if he'll let us do it, then I say we vote to.
Okay, would you take on the job? Would you? Property owner?
All right.
I'll try to
Go ahead.
contact the property owner.
Okay.
I'll be out of town tomorrow, but I can do it. I'll call over there, get his number from Chris, and
Okay.
find out.
Appreciate that.
No worries.
That's
But we
it for
should,
me.
before we vote to spend any money, we should make sure that we can.
Actually do it.
Anything else?
That's it.
Can I get a motion to adjourn? Thank you, people.
Right.